What's going on, guys? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Red and Gold Standard podcast. My name is Zach Hernandez, and as always, I am joined by my co-host, Mike Andrews. Our guy, Matt Llewellyn, will be joining us shortly. He is putting the kids to bed currently. Thank you guys for rocking with us tonight. It's been a while. It truly has been a while. It's the off season, but also I'm getting married in literally a month from today. So got a lot going on. It's hard to get our schedules to match up. So we apologize for the break that we've been on. But we're back, baby. We're back. We got a great show planned for you guys tonight. We're going to talk about the combine, talk about the rumors, talk about some more serious things. We're going to get in all of it. Mike, now that I got that out of the way, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing well, man. I hit a little slump in my bowling career. So my average is really close to 200, right? And so that's what it takes to like qualify for like PBA if you want to do anything like that, right? And so I'm like, all right. And now I'm looking up all the rules. Good night, Sin. Thanks for checking it out. She'll be back on the rewatch. And then I use this brace. I have a really weak wrist, right? And so I use this brace on my arm, and then they're like, you can't use that if you're doing PBA. So my last two outings, I've been bowling without it. And while I'm more consistent, it's just not hitting the right way. So my average is taking a bit of a dip now. I'm back down to like 188. But I'm gonna work towards it. So it's good. I like the challenge of it, and that's what it's all about for me. So it's like you hear Matt talk about his golf and everything, and it's like just you and like the field, and there's no one stopping you from being good. Like that's where I am now. So I'm excited though. I'm excited about your wedding, man. Like sports, we're back talking about meaningful stuff now. So I'm all ready for it, man. I'm ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. It's funny. I was actually supposed to go bowling Saturday with my family, and then scheduling, I can't make it, but I was thinking of you, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to send my scores, show them pictures of how good I do. I don't do well. Last time I went bowling, I hit one strike, and that was it. Like literally the first time I went up, whatever it's called, first toss, first swing, I hit a strike, and everybody was like, oh, crap, look at this guy. And I'm like, yeah, I know. And then nothing.
And then it was everything like, womp, womp.
Straight downhill from there. So beginner's luck, I guess, but it's fun. Yeah. It is fun. Need to do it more often. But yeah, it's nice to be back, man. It's been a bit. We don't talk about what happened at the middle of February. That's a whole nother thing. That's out of my mind. I don't think about it. This is the first year without a Super Bowl champ, believe it or not. So crazy stuff happened. But we are here now, and it is the off season, which means it is the draft season, and the NFL Combine is this week. Measurements were today. There's a lot going on. John Lynch gave a press conference. Bunch of quotes were going viral from it. Obviously you had a chance to watch it. What stuck out the most to you? What did you want to start with about the press conference? What were you thinking?
So I think the most interesting thing was Trent Williams' future with the team. John Lynch does this thing where like he praises, but it's what he says like right at the end that you really got to pay attention to. And that's what it was. Like, we love Trent. Trent loves us. Trent wants to be here. We want Trent to be here. And then right at the end, he's like, but he's also 38 and we have to factor that in. It's like, oh crap. Like what is he saying? Like, right. And then he kind of just like let it go. Is this it right here? Yeah, here we go.
This is from Tracy Sandler. So this might be the clip you're talking about.
Had really good.
Can you shed any light on what's going on there?
Well, what I'll tell you is that, in recent weeks, I've met with both Trent and with his agent, Vincent Taylor, and had really good, productive, and substantive meetings. And so here's what I know. Trent loves being a Niner. We love having Trent as a Niner. And it's up to us to figure that out and to thread that needle. There's some unique circumstances in that we all know what Trent is as a player, how great of a player he's been. He's going to be 38 years old, and so there's some things that go into that. But I think we're all on the same page and feel very positive about where that's going.
Is it years? Can you shed any light on what's going on there?
Was that the one you had in mind?
That's exactly it. Yeah. I mean, it's just like, why throw in the age thing? Like, we all know how old he is. Like, why'd you throw that in there? I don't know. I think they'll get something done. I do. And I'm hoping that he's here for at least 2 more years for one reason. It's really selfish of me, but if he can get 2 more seasons here, he would have been a Niner as long as he was a Washington, at the time, Redskin. And so it's no longer the Niners got this guy from there. Like his legacy could be cemented as a 49er. So That's what I want it to be, not like the Washington guy that the Niners got. No, like this guy was a Niner. You know what I mean? I'm hoping this for Christian McCaffrey. Like, let's have him longer here than what we had than he was in Carolina.
So when this first came up, the first tweet that I saw about it was Adam Schefter, and it just so happened to be about 30 minutes before. This was the tweet that came up 30 minutes before John Lynch was scheduled to go have a press conference at the draft. And Adam Schefter said, with five-time All-Pro left tackle Trent Williams scheduled to carry a $39 million cap number this season, he and the 49ers are currently are struggling to find a contractual solution per league sources. If the two sides can't bridge their differences in their standoff, Williams would be expected to join this year's free agent class, making him one of the premier players available. Am I the only one that thinks that this exact quote came straight from Trent's agent to Adam, and Adam copied and pasted and hit tweet?
Yeah, this is exactly what it is. Great posturing, put the pressure on him to address it publicly right before he's about to speak. I mean, that was really good. This is how agents should do it, not scrub everything Niners from your social media pages, right, and like just demand a trade and all, like none of that nonsense. Like, this is how you're supposed to do it. Just put a little bit of pressure on him, let him know that it matters, that it counts, knowing that he's about to speak. That's what you want him to do. Like, make it clear that your guy wants to be there, and put the numbers in it too. Put the numbers in there, right? Like $39 million of a cap hit, you can restructure that and save some money. And that's probably what the Niners are going to end up doing. From my understanding, there's not a lot of guarantees left in his contract. And so that's basically what he's looking for. You're not going to let that guy hit the field, knowing that he hasn't finished a full season in a long time. He did play 16 of the 17 games this year, so it was a relatively good season for him as far as availability. And he started rough, finished really, really strong. So, get him in early. None of this off to the side and then coming in week one type nonsense that we don't need that. Let him go ahead and get his legs under him and be ready when week one rolls around. So go ahead and get that restructured. But I do believe what you said is true, that it came from the agent.
Am I also wrong for thinking this is pretty much a yearly occurrence at this point with Trent? It's not happened for
every
the last
other year,
2-3 years.
Yeah, I feel like every other year that we're back in the same exact spot with Trent every time.
And it's a little annoying if I'm being honest with you. I want the players to get theirs, right? But it's like at some point, what are we doing here? Well, I real quick, I agree with this. They do only have themselves to blame because they've neglected the fucking position for so long. What are they going to do? Who are they going to play if they can't keep him? There's no way in my mind that they cut him because he has virtually the same cap hit if he's here or if he isn't here. So there makes no sense to cut him. Same, I think, for trading. I think there's like a $4 million difference if they trade him or not. That would make a little more sense to me. But still, what is the plan? Unless they trade up and draft a starting left tackle in this year's class in 2 months, then I could say, okay, maybe they found his replacement. But he has them by the balls because they have done nothing to find, groom, train his replacement. So they only have themselves to blame.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. They've neglected the line in general for far too long, and especially that position is such a major position for right-handed quarterbacks, and that's what we have here. They've got to do something, man. And whether or not they get the extension done, they still should be drafting a left tackle within the first 5 rounds. Like they got to get somebody that they see some potential in and start training these guys up. They have to.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, but this is where we're at. That's with the 49ers. I saw a tweet. I should have saved it, but it was talking about how since the 49ers have been in this tenure with John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan, they've had, I don't know how many picks, right? And only 2 players for the offensive line have been in the first 2 rounds. Only 2. Mike McGlinchey, and I can't even think of who the other one was.
Aaron Banks was a second
Aaron
round
Banks, pick. Thank you. Pooney, I think, was a 3rd round pick, but still, it's like, Mike, I really don't understand it. We've heard Kyle Shanahan talk about how he values scoring players, skill position players over offensive linemen. But when you see year after year after year, it's the teams with the best offensive lines and defensive lines, but mainly offensive lines that are successful come February. I don't know how that hasn't like been hammered into his head. Think of how the 49ers last few seasons have ended when they did make the playoffs. They got decimated by the Seahawks 2 games in a row this year. 2 years ago when they made the Super Bowl, they got ultimately beat at the end by the Chiefs because they couldn't block Chris Jones. Purdy had no time, even though he had a wide open Brandon Ayuk in the back of the end zone. Couldn't hit him. The year prior to that, trying to think, that was the year that Purdy tore his elbow, I'm pretty sure. Again, they couldn't block Hassan Reddick. Year prior to that was, I think, the year that 2021 where we lost to the Rams. We couldn't block Aaron Donald. We are asking Colton McKivitz Daniel Brunskill and Tom.
Mike McGlinchey.
Gosh, Tom, I'm forgetting. He was all tatted up. Tom Compton to go out there and block them. The best of the line. It's been year after year after year, Mike. Is this the year something finally changes?
I think they address some of the offensive line, but I don't know if it's the year that something changes because it's not their philosophy, right? They feel like, and this is going to speak to the, I'm not going to say arrogance because that has a negative connotation. It speaks to the confidence that Kyle Shanahan has in his ability to just call plays. Like every play, if there is a blitzer, it's a built-in blitz beater.
The solution is built into the play.
Yeah, and it's just like, come on, man. After a while, you got to cut that shit out. Like, you absolutely have to stop it because, they're going to send pressure and they're going to cover the middle of the field, 7 yards or less. Because if there is a blitz coming, they know you're going to get the ball out quickly, and it's not going to be a successful play. And teams know that about this Niners team now, so it's not going to work. They absolutely have to do something. They have to do something.
Yeah, I agree. They did though. They did do something when it comes to their long snapper. I don't know if you saw the breaking news at the Combine where John Lynch announced that they did extend long snapper John Weeks, who I think is probably has been alive for about 1,000 weeks because he is in his 40s, I want to say. But he's very old. He's playing well. He just made the Pro Bowl, but they did re-sign him. Are you surprised that he is the only member of that special teams unit that they have re-signed so far? Because remember, Sky Moore is a free agent and Eddie Pinheiro is a free agent.
That's true. It's kind of surprising, but at the same time, the success of the special teams unit this year is kind of like it was makeshift. And so if we did it last year, we can do it again. It speaks to the confidence that they have now in Brant Boyer, right? So it's like we can do something here. So maybe it's not that surprising. I do think that they try to work something out with Eddie. I saw that report that went out also about he had an offer of 2 years, $7 million. I don't believe that report at all. I don't believe those numbers for 1 second. But I think that they do want to keep him, and they'll get something done. I think they'll get something done there.
Only Eddie, not Sky Moore.
Only Eddie. I mean, I personally wouldn't. I don't know, man. I watched some of the biggest plays from Sky Moore this year, and that 98-yard return that he gets it down to the 2, and like he had nobody to beat. He just ran out of gas, right? Like if that's what it's going to be, then it's fine, I guess. Like you'll take a huge return if you're going to get that consistently, right? If you're going to get to the 50-yard line or more, but it wasn't that consistent, and teams just figured out, okay, let's just kick away from him. And they just did that for the rest of the season. Like you get that big return, and then that was basically it. Like we're not even going to give him an opportunity anymore. So you got to do something. You got to have 2 good return guys back there. So it sounds like you're going to go out there and look for those guys in either free agency or in the draft. Like go out and get an actual kick returner to put him on the opposite side of maybe a free agent guy that you think could do something.
So here's my take on it. Their special teams, specifically since Robbie Gould left, but all like return, everything has been shit for the past 2.5 years, I want to say, right? Since Jake Moody got here, basically. That's not even technically true because Jake was good his rookie year. He just missed a couple. But they finally were in the top. I think they were the number 2 ranked special teams unit, only behind Seattle. And that ranking turned out to be very true because we saw how the season ended. Anyway, I think that you should do everything within your power to replicate that, to do exactly what you just did, because that puts your team in the best position. And that was like literally the difference between a couple of losses and a couple of wins at the end of the season. I mean, look back to Eddie Pinheiro hitting that field goal to beat Cardinals in week 3, right? Yeah, week 3 when Mac Jones was a starter. Eddie Pinheiro in week 5 on Thursday night when he's hitting, 58 yarders or whatever, hitting them off the crossbar to go in, and we end up beating the Rams in overtime. Sky Moore's returns. Yes, he didn't break one. He should have. He ran out of gas, like you said, versus the Cardinals. But there were a handful of games where his return flipped the field and really gave the 49ers positive momentum, field position, and were able to score, capitalize on that on a shorter drive. So if I'm them, I'm doing everything within my power to keep this band together, because if Kyle Shanahan doesn't want to think about any of this shit, like he said before, then you had a perfect combination right there. Like, your band just put out a hit single. It's not the time to release them. It's the time to keep the band together and put them on tour, so to speak. Niner Dev, that is the one caveat. I would be okay with Thomas Morstead maybe being replaced, because he wasn't that great in my opinion.
He fell apart at the second half of the season, so I'm cool with moving on from him.
Yeah, and they didn't even need him that much. There was like a 3-game stretch. They didn't punt at all or something like that.
He didn't punt the entire month of November, if I'm not mistaken.
And still, he couldn't keep it together. So
right,
it is what it is. Also at the combine, Mike, I'm just going through the quotes and stuff that came out from John Lynch. Stop me if there's something you thought of. They asked him about Eric Kendricks, the veteran linebacker who came in, and they asked him if he'd be interested in bringing him back. He said, yeah, absolutely. I can't say enough. He played really well. He helped us with the tough playoff game in Philly. He played well for a couple of weeks in a row. It didn't surprise us because Eric's been a good football player. You know a lot about people playing against them, and Eric has always been a nemesis with us. What are your thoughts on that? Would you be interested in bringing him back in a backup type role? Yes,
absolutely. He's a guy that came in. He knows the position well. He knows his strengths and his weaknesses. You don't want him in coverage too much, but you know what I'm saying? Like, he plays really well downhill, very decisive. You could see the communication was A+. And you want to get him out there. That was in the absence of Fred Warner. Imagine if you have him out there with Fred Warner, or like you said, as a rotational guy. You get him, you go out and you draft another guy in the 5th round or so. And then you see if you can, kind of get him to maybe coach them up on the side, a player coach type thing. It definitely would benefit you to have him here. Yeah. Bring him back.
I agree. You can't have too many good football players, right? So if it's the difference between Eric Kendricks and no shade to Tatum Bethune, but Tatum Bethune, or I don't remember who was playing after Bethune got hurt, but you definitely want
Wallow.
And he was okay for that Eagles game.
For the Eagles game.
For the Eagles game specifically. But you definitely want somebody who has the veteran know-how, that savviness, the intelligence, know where to be, understand what he's doing, communicate well. I'd be all over this. 49ers 2025. Renardo Green is frustrated. We'll get into that in a bit because dumb Shanahan can't run the ball. Our offensive line can't run or pass block. I blame Shanahan for not scoring points, not Green. I'm a little confused with this comment here. Renardo Green is frustrated because Shanahan can't run the ball.
So what happened in that Seattle game? We just kept going 3 and out, basically, right? Like, the defense was just getting tired, and finally Green broke. It's like, dude, if your offense could sustain something, if you guys could put up some points to keep the game interesting, maybe then we don't have to guess what they're doing on every single play, right? Like, we couldn't do anything. We couldn't move the ball. And so, it's frustrating to the entire defense, not just Green. I don't know what quote is out there. I know you said you want to get into it, so let's
well,
hear
there were sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, no, like, let's hear what they have to say about it. But I imagine that the whole defense was frustrated with the lack of offense in that game. I mean, 2 games in a row, what was it, 6 points or some shit like that? Like, it was like, that's not someone got to play twice a year. Like, they bodied us. Like, yeah, week 1, everyone's like, oh, well, we beat them. We did beat them last year. They were a new team. They were a new team. Like, if you're not going to beat them, then you weren't going to beat them ever again. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the one that you got to get off. And I think that when we looked at that game, we were talking about it being a split because it's a new team, great coach and all that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
We recognize the talent that they had, but it was like, you get them early in the year, that's a benefit for us, but later in the year, it's going to be a lot harder to beat them. Yeah. And it sure as shit was. So they just got better and better.
With Renardo Green, the talk around him is he's being floated around as a trade candidate for the 49ers. This was the ESPN article that Dan Graziano dropped, and he listed a trade candidate for each player. He had Renardo Green of the 49ers. This is what he said. Contract, 2 more years of a total of $3 million, nothing guaranteed. The buzz, he's still only 25 and would have value in a trade. The Niners have a new defensive coordinator in Raheem Morris, and the 2024 second-round pick might not be a scheme fit. Green has just 1 interception in 2 NFL seasons, and he seemed to fall out of favor a bit with the coaching staff at time last season. Green isn't a particularly big outside corner, but he makes up for it with his quickness and aggressiveness. Double-digit pass breakups in each of his first 2 seasons is a testament to that. The coaching staff got frustrated with mental lapses and unnecessary aggressiveness last season, and teams will call accordingly to see if Green has run out of time in San Francisco. Predicted chance of getting traded, 80%. Potential team fits, Cowboys, Falcons, Eagles, which cracks me up because those are probably the 3 teams they would send him to the least. I guess I'm a little confused here because he didn't have a great year. He was hurt. He had that neck injury that nagged most of the season. To be honest, it kind of reminds me of like Ricky Pearsall. I think he has a great potential, and I think he can be a really good player for the 49ers. But we haven't seen it yet, and the same people that are wanting to trade Ricky Pearsall after the season we just had, you realize you're selling like almost at the lowest of the low. Right. You would get almost none of your... What do you think they'd get? A 5th round? A 6th round pick for him? Swap of 6ths? I think you're muted.
I think a 5th is being very generous, if I'm being honest with you. And I wouldn't give up on him. The kid has a lot of talent, if I'm being honest. Like, if you look at him when he flashes, the flashes are like there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, he's not someone that's going to handcuff the team, but like that first post that you said, over the next 2 years, only $3 million. You keep that kind of guy.
Exactly.
That's the kind of guy that you keep. I don't know why they don't think that he's a fit for Raheem Morris's scheme. Raheem Morris specializes in the secondary. Like, that's been his bread and butter for 90% of his coaching tenure in the NFL. It's all about the DBs and the secondary. So last time we had a good DB coach in the building who was also our defensive coordinator, it was Steve Wilkes, and the Niners had a ton of turnovers. Yeah. So, you know, to me, you want to get the guys with that kind of upside paired with him. You don't just give up on him. You know, he's a willing hitter. He's a good tackler. And, you know, when pass rush gets home, they're locked down. You know, a lot of our guys in the secondary are actually pretty good when the pass rush gets home and helps them out. But covering for too long is always a problem. With no pass rush at all, the guys can double move, triple move you, and then it gets a little bit harder. You know, you take that away, and they have to really just run the route and stick to it. Now they know the plays that they've been studying. They know the plays that they've been, you know, watching the film on, and those guys are going to be where they're supposed to be at the right times. That's what a good, you know, pass rush helps you out with. But we didn't have that. And so no one in our secondary looked good. Deommodore Lenoir didn't look good, and no one's going to talk about trading him, right? And it's not just because of his contract, but even Demo gave up, 5 or 6 touchdowns this year. He went from not giving – I think he had 1 touchdown in 2 seasons to 5 and 1. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, it's everybody on that defense should have been frustrated.
Yeah, I'm a little skeptical on this. Could teams be calling? Sure. But he's one of your better players overall, especially better players on defense. He's on a rookie cost-controlled contract. You're already thin at the position, and falling out with who? Pretty much the entire fucking staff is gone from the defensive side. He had a couple arguments with Kyle Shanahan. Arguments, aka coaching hard, disagreements. Like, I just don't see it. I really don't. I think that there's more of a chance of Raheem Morris, seeing him and saying, that's a guy that I can't wait to work with. Him and Lenore, I can't wait to, especially when they get Nick Bosa and Michael Williams back and they're able to generate some pressure up front. That solves so much of the secondary's issues right there. Because when they're being asked to cover for like 4 to 6 seconds consistently, I don't care if you're a fucking, the best corners out there. I don't care if you're prime. You're going to struggle. You're going to give up some catches. You're going to give up some touchdowns. You're going to get burnt. If you're only covering for anywhere from, 2 to 4 seconds, you're good. You have the period that you could get burnt is much smaller. So I think that it's more likely they keep him, they work with him, and they try to improve him.
Yeah, and that comment from Howdy a couple comments ago, I think 4 or 5 comments ago, was really good. So I like that a lot, right? Morris and Gray, like those are the kind of people that want to get their hands on them. The quote from Graziano made it seem like that Raheem Morris doesn't like aggressive DBs. That's not true at all. He likes those feisty guys, and he likes guys that can get their hands on people. So and his secondary turns the ball over. Like that's what you want to see. You know what I'm saying? Like he had two really good corners, or 2 good secondary play, 2 good DBs over there. So the shit happens, and I think that this is the kind of guy you want to keep around. Yeah. Let him get his hands on him and coach him up.
I agree 100%. I mean, there's only so many talented players on this 49ers defense that are still under a rookie contract. And I don't think you should start to move off of them just because. Now, if somebody comes calling with a 2nd or 3rd round pick, then I think that changes the math a little bit. But for what I would imagine they could get for him, I just don't think it's worth it. Niner Faithful 8080, is Tig gone then? I would hope so, to be honest with you. But I don't know if they'd just release him. I would hope they would try to get something for him.
I mean, it's, again, you're talking about contract-controlled guys, right? Who are you going to replace him with? You want to put a rookie out there, or do you want to get a free agent that's going to cost you a lot more, right? Now, I will say that, the safeties are kind of like we got a lot of similar skill set guys at the safety room, and he might be the slowest one. So I don't think it's beneficial to have 2 of the same type of players back there. So if they wanted to move on from him, I would understand it, but you're not going to do it just for the sake of doing it. I think that you really let Raheem Morris evaluate these guys, watch the film, let him put together the pros and cons, and hopefully he's just locked in a room and doing that and saying, I can get something out of this guy, I can get something out of that guy. These 2 guys are the same. We can part with one if you guys want to, but type of thing. Like, let him run that defense for real. No more overbearing stuff. I don't think that we have to worry about that, though. Not with Raheem Morris, Kyle.
Yeah. Okay. Going back to the John Lynch presser, he seems to allude to former players returning when asked about the wide receiver position. Mike, is Deebo Samuel coming back?
I hope not. I really, 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 really hope not. I'm tired of this team being afraid to develop wide receivers, bro. Like, you develop Brandon Ayuk. Who knew that the money was going to change the way he acted, right? But it was, at the moment, they made the right decision. You move on from Deebo. You keep the real wide receiver, the real route runner. You know what I'm saying? The guy with the speed, someone that can get open and beat man coverage. They made the right decision, but the player is the player, and there's some things that you just can't do. You know what I mean? You can't predict that. So I just don't get it. I don't know why they want to keep going back to the well. It's like this team is stuck in the past.
Yes.
And the past didn't get you what you wanted either. So I don't get it, man. Right. Just continue to draft and develop, sign a free agent or 2. You remember the shot in the arm that Emmanuel Sanders was for this team? Like, it was what we needed, right? I'm not opposed to going out and getting a vet, but you don't want to go out there and keep bringing those same guys back. That Niners roster from 2019 isn't going to help us in 2026. I'm sorry.
Right.
It's not.
This comment, SDBRFC 1997. Yes, he is coming back and will likely be the biggest name they sign, which just proves even more Kyle can't develop shit on offense, only scheme for it. I think that's kind of funny because he was developed by Kyle, and I think I would argue Brandon Ayuk was as well. George Kittle, Brock Purdy, a handful of running backs before they went and got the proven guy in Christian McCaffrey, Kyle Juszczyk,
Raheem Mostert.
I don't necessarily agree with this. I think there's just that level of comfortability that is there, and I don't know if it's like trust. Is that what it could be, Mike? To where he just doesn't trust other players to do the job or to go out there and try and earn their right to play. So therefore he's like, well, I already know this guy, so I'm just going to rock with him.
It's possible, but that's not a good thing. And we've seen, right? So here's the thing. When Kyle and John first got here, they went out and grabbed a person with familiarity to Kyle's system and put him in every position group. A linebacker, I'm sorry, on the offense, a running back they went and got right away with Alfred Morris, I believe it was. They went and got a wide receiver in Pierre Garçon. They went and got
Brian
the tight end. They got Brian Hoyer, the quarterback. At every position group, Kyle went out and got someone that was a veteran that had formerly played in the system. But you get that in 2017. You understand that when you're rebuilding an entire team, right? You need those teachers in there. Those days are long gone. You have people that can teach now at those positions, right? You got a Christian McCaffrey in there, and he talks about how he works with other players, right? You've got wide receivers in here that can teach, right? I mean, not for nothing, Jacob Cowling would be beneficial because he knows the playbook. If he's going to help groom someone else, I'm not talking about his on-field production. You don't need to go out and keep re-signing players that you have history with. You can move on because there's enough players here now that can help. You're not developing the offense. That offense exists. So now you can go ahead and keep going. So it's just, we can't keep doing that. We can't keep doing it.
Right. They desperately need young talent. That's what they need. You look at the Rams, you look at the Seahawks, they both looked like they were trending in the opposite direction. They looked like they were going to be in the basement of the NFC West. The Seahawks more so than the Rams, but the Rams specifically after their Super Bowl win in 2022 or whenever that was, 2021. And what did they do? They went and knocked the draft out of the park. The Rams drafted, Byron Young, Jared Verse, Braden Frisk, Puka Nacua, Kyron Williams, all of these players they drafted that turned out to be total studs. And then on the Seahawks, Nick Imanwari, they drafted Kenneth Walker, they drafted JSN, Abe Lucas, Charles Cross. They just got Gray Zabel, who was my fucking draft crush from last year. It turned out to be the best center. It's just really unfortunate that they were able to go out and do it, and the 49ers are still no. Why don't we keep being the second oldest roster in the NFL? Even though, like Mike said, it didn't work even when they were at their prime, but let's just keep trying to do it again. It's infuriating, and I really hope that this draft, they go out and really get some youth and some speed. Ian Sharp says, keep Bourne on a cheap contract. I love Kendrick Bourne. I love the dude. I hope he retires a 49er. I don't ever want to see him take another snap for this team unless he's wide receiver 7. He's not fast. He's not quick enough. And we're talking the wild card round in Philly. He didn't know where to line up. They had to burn a timeout. Juwan Jennings almost lost his shit because he couldn't line up appropriately. And I think they only had 1 or 2 timeouts and they had to burn one. You're a vet. You've been with the team before. It's week 18. You've been here for week 19 at that point because it's a wild card. You've been here for 16 weeks. You don't know the fucking play? You don't know the play?
Yeah. Right. And it's just this is how I felt when they signed Trent Taylor. People forgot because he was on IR all year.
Right.
I didn't forget. I went straight into panic mode. If he makes this roster, we are fucked. Right. And it's the same thing. It's nothing against Bourne, but you don't need him here because what is he going to bring to you? Brock Purdy forgot that he was on the field most of the time anyway, right? He was successful with Mac Jones, a quarterback that he had rapport with. He didn't do shit with Brock Purdy out here.
Purdy didn't trust him.
Right.
He didn't trust him to be where he needs to be.
And it was evident as to why,
Yeah.
right? And again, like Kendrick Bourne, the man, absolutely love it. The player, though, we don't need it. Like, let's go ahead and get younger. Let's get faster. Let's get bigger. Let's do what we need to do. Let's stop babying these guys, man. I completely agree on this comment right here. I'm over the wide receiver coaching position. Like, they need to upgrade these positions and stop just going, oh, well, this guy was our quality control guy. Let's promote him. Like, enough of that shit. Go out and find a good coaching staff. Pretend like you just got hired and you're building a coaching staff and start getting guys from different teams that are doing things well. That's what we need to do. There's no rule that says you can't do that. The Niners just don't do it.
Yep.
We just don't do it. And it pisses me off so much.
Yep. Last bit from the John Lynch press conference, he confirmed that Trent Williams, Nick Bosa, and Alfred Collins, who ended up having to have shoulder surgery, should all be ready for training camp, which is great news. There was some questioning regarding Trent Williams due to his injury, but they should all be good to go come training camp. It's great. Somebody else who may be in question, I didn't see actually if he was asked about him, but he just got injured due to an argument with Lil Baby's entourage, Mike. Super Bowl night. He is at a private party in San Francisco. Apparently, Lil Baby, the rapper, and his entourage try and come into the party. Keon White is not letting them in, according to reports. They get into a scuffle, and he gets shot in the ankle by one of Lil Baby's entourage, goons, whatever you want to call them. What do you make of this, Mike?
It's just stupidity at its finest, man. I mean, like, the fact that you're even in a club with a gun, it's just dumb. And so prayers up for Keon and the quick recovery. Thank God it wasn't worse than what it was. But it's nonsense. I don't blame him for it. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't do anything wrong in the situation based off of the reports that I read. But it's just nonsense. It's just so much nonsense. Like, it's really like there's a black cloud over this team, and it's rearing its head at every opportunity. If it's not injuries on the field, it's injuries off the field. You know, like, as soon as that happened, I saw the post going around. The Niners have the most players shot in the NFL. Like, what are we what are we doing? Like, oh my God. Like, I can't believe it. Like, it's like one thing after the other. It was the day after the Super Bowl this news came out. Like, we couldn't even get 24 hours from the Super Bowl without another Niner being injured. You know what I'm saying? It's like how are we injured and we're not playing shit? Like, what is happening now?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's really, really tough. They need to shake things up a little bit here. And I think it does start with the coaching staff. There is no one on this coaching staff that should feel safe. Yeah. Absolutely no one. No one. Not you think of anyone. I'm lying. Johnny Holland is the only one that should be safe. I think that he is working with every linebacker in that room, and he is getting some production out of these guys. Kudos to Johnny Holland. He's the only person that should be safe on either side of the ball.
Yeah. Speaking of coaching, we saw a mix-up in Philly. There's some conflicting reports whether or not he's out completely or taking a different role. But Jeff Stoutland, their offensive line coach, is no longer their offensive line coach. And the reporting was because Nick Sirianni basically told him to fuck off during the season and wanted more of that control himself. And Kevin Patullo, the OC that they ended up firing / restructuring, like he's still with the team, but he's not the OC anymore. If Jeff Stoutland isn't with the Eagles, the 49ers should throw like millions of dollars at him because he is the best in the business. What's his name? The fucking Australian guy that they have playing left tackle, right? Jordan Mailata was like in tears talking about Jeff Stoutland not being there anymore. So if so, they got to get,
you know what's going to happen, right? I can just see it now. They're going to move on from Chris Forrester, and they're going to invest in players in the offensive line.
And they're
going
to
look
like,
great. Yeah, and they're going to be like, yeah, see, this is what we should have done all along, right? And it's like, well, what if you gave some of that talent to fucking Chris Forrester while he was here instead of just pulling like dog shit off the bottom of your shoe and saying, hey, go make him block.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't know, man. But I would not be mad if they do that. Like he is definitely one of the best in the game. So you go out there and you do what you got to do. I don't know if he officially retired. I see the question there from Howdy.
I don't
I'm
think
not
he
sure.
did. No, the reporting that I saw was that he was just not going to be the offensive line coach for the Eagles anymore, but that he still had desire to keep going. But then there was also some reporting that they took him away from the offensive line coach, but he still had a role within the team. So I don't know.
It's the same story that came out of Cleveland with Jim Schwartz, right?
Yeah.
Like we don't want him to go anywhere. He's like, well, then fuck it, I'm going to retire. So now people are like, did Jim Schwartz retire or not? I don't know. I don't know. Like it's just weird, man. It's really, really weird to me. They have to. Kyle's got to let go of this. Like they're my buddies, they're my friends, and so they're my coaches. Like that shit has got to stop, bro. You have to really do some assessment, some self-reflecting. The pressure is on Kyle and John this whole offseason. It's not just free agency. It's not just the draft. It's the coaching staff as well.
Yeah.
Like I like that comment right there from Tony. Right, Forrester is a really good offensive line coach. They're not giving him shit to work with. They're not giving him anything. How can we do this? Tell me the last draft we didn't say the Niners got to address the offensive line. We were begging for centers for the last 6 seasons, bro.
Yeah. Yep.
Like that's just the center position we've been begging for. All right, well, we got to bring somebody in that's going to take over for Trent at some point, right? Trent's got 2 years left. Let's get somebody on a 4-year contract that he can groom and blah, 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 blah. Make him a swing tackle. Maybe bump him in at guard. But let's do this. They don't do it. They straight up don't do it. They ignore these positions for so long. And the coaches are the safest coaches I've ever seen in my entire life. I don't understand how these position coaches are just as untouchable as they are. They're freaking bulletproof. And when I said at the beginning of last offseason that Kyle has a black cloud over him, people thought I was crazy. And they were like, what do you mean? I don't know that established coaches want to come here and coach for Kyle Shanahan. I don't know that to be true. Raheem Morris is going to be a test, but they were friends 20 years ago, right? So that's not really going against what I said. You know what I mean? They made a play for Vic Fangio. He didn't want to come here. He didn't want to do it, right? Jim Schwartz was like the name that everyone's throwing around, but Cleveland had him locked up. You can't use that as an example. Tell me the established coach that they went out and got, not named Chris, whether it be Kocurek or Forrester. Tell me the established position coach that they went out and got that came here, right? Kocurek, I get it. You went out there, you got him. I can't stand the guy. Forrester, 90% of the fan base hate him, right? So it's like, okay, where are the rest of them?
The special teams coach, I would argue, that's the last one.
And he came because of Robert Saleh.
Robert Saleh. Yeah.
You know what I was like? I mean, so like, get the guys in here. Do it. Like, you got to kick the butt. You got to kick the can on some of these, some new faces. Get some fresh blood in here. You know what happens when you hire a new position coach? The complacency of the players now start, oh shit, I got to shape up.
Right.
Oh shit.
Right.
Like I'm not you're buddy with all these different position coaches. They're gonna be like, they're not gonna get rid of me, man. Like they understand what's going on. Like they get it. They get it. No, you shake up those position coaches. Guess what's happening next? If these players aren't performing, you guys are gonna be the next guys out of here. That's what we need. We need some fear instilled in this locker room. Everybody is like buddy. It's other than Kyle's temper. There's no fear.
Right.
There's no fear. Everybody's safe, and you can't run a team like that.
It's ridiculous. Steve
Wilks was not an established defensive coordinator. He had 6 games of DC under his belt. Wilks was not. He was established secondary coach, and our secondary, that was their best year in this Kyle Shanahan regime. It was their best year. I credit Wilks for the success of the secondary. The failures of the defense was because he was an inexperienced defensive coordinator.
Yeah. Next topic, Mike. 2 players, one on the 49ers, one not. Do you see them being moved? Let's start with the first one that is on the 49ers, Mac Jones. There is reporting coming out of the combine. Let me pull up the graphic here I just saw. That teams could be inquiring about Mac Jones. He's kind of the buzz at the combine for the 49ers. Do you think they move him? Do you think there's a big market for him?
I do think that there's going to be a market for him. So here's the best thing that happened to the Niners. And this is going to, it might be this from your brain because I know you said that the Super Bowl didn't happen. But the best thing that happened to the Niners this year and going into this offseason was Sam Darnold winning a Super Bowl. A lot of people credit Sam Darnold's success to Kyle Shanahan and Brock Purdy, right? And so if you can do that with Sam Darnold, what can you do with Mac Jones, another first-round pick who was learned from who? Kyle Shanahan and Brock Purdy, right? All of a sudden, our backup quarterbacks have a value, right? And when you look at the 49ers picks right now, they only got 7 of them. We don't have a 6th. We don't have a 7th. We've got 1 second, 1 third. I mean, 1 first, 1 second, 1 third, 3 fourths, and a 5th. And those are comp picks, by the way. The 4th, the 2 in the 4th, and 1 in the 5th, those are comp picks. So we don't have a lot to go on. If this was a year where we had 8, 9 picks, I'd be like, nah, let's keep them. We really, really need them. But the lack of picks right now and the value of what you just got from Sam Darnold, I think I'm more and more inclined to think that they're going to be moving on from him just because they're going to get an offer that they can't turn down. And here's the thing. If you let him walk in free agency next year at the end of this coming season, you're going to get a third from him because he's going to get signed somewhere. So that means that they can tell teams, hey, we're not taking less than a third for him. If you really are serious about him, we're not taking less than a third. And that can be a huge piece that the Niners use to manipulate the draft. They can trade up. They can trade back. They can use that piece, and they desperately need it. They desperately need it. So the longer I think about it, I think his value is not going to be higher than what it is right now. You go out there and you pull that trigger if you get the right offer.
Now, if he leaves in free agency after this season, they're going to get a 3rd-round pick. Therefore, my mind goes to if it's solely draft picks, there's no player involved, there's no swap, anything, it has to be at least a 2nd-round pick. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. Okay.
Got it.
So, and then people are going to say, well, who's going to be your backup? We drafted a guy, Curtis Rourke. Isn't that what his name
Curtis
was?
Rourke. Yeah, Curtis Rourke.
Yeah. So, I mean, we got our backup. Let's go, man.
I have 2 actually potential backup quarterbacks, Mike.
Uh-oh. Okay. I'm listening.
One, I know you'll know I'm already going to suggest, but the other one, he was just released by the Atlanta Falcons. Kirko Chains, baby. I think Kirk could come in here.
Excuse me, bitch.
And take that backup role, get paid, have a nice, comfortable job, reunite with Kyle Shanahan, be that security blanket. If anything happens to Brock Purdy, he can come in. Kyle Shanahan is somebody he knows he can rely on, and his offense that he's comfortable in. And the other one, I obviously don't know his contract situation, but I will never give up on him. Jameis Winston. Get Jameis Winston to San Francisco, because it would just be pure cinema, baby. It would be amazing. He would be the next Sam Darnold, Mac Jones, yada, yada, yada. You know, they'd be talking about J-Bo. So
Jameis Winston is the new NFL's, as far as on the field production, he is the new Ryan Fitzpatrick, right? So I love that. But he is prime time TV. Mic this guy up.
Yes.
Just let him do whatever he wants to do on the sideline. I'm not mad at those 2 names that you said. The Kirk Cousins thing, Kyle finally gets his guy. Will it start a quarterback controversy? I don't think so. I don't think that anyone thinks that Cousins is going to come in here and take the job from Brock Purdy. And it'll just be good. You know, it's everything that was said about Mac Jones coming in last year is the same thing that will be said about Kirk Cousins. We weathered that storm just fine, and Mac Jones proved his value. So that's what you do, man. You go out there and you do that. And I see the question there about what about Anthony Richardson? He requested a trade. The Niners don't have the pieces to give up to get him. So
not only that, Kyle values what over everything else in a quarterback, Mike? Accuracy.
Programmability. That's what he values.
Yes, but physically and accuracy.
Yeah.
And Anthony Richardson is not accurate, so I don't think that would be a good fit. And that's why Trey Lance didn't work here. he was fucking skipping screen passes. So, okay. The next trade candidate that I want to talk to you about that is not on this team. Damn it. I just had the graphic pulled up. Bear with me.
No, you go ahead and do your thing. While you're looking at that also, as far as the quarterback position goes, and specifically going back to Mac Jones being a trade candidate, can you think of a reason why they wouldn't trade him?
Yeah, because Brock Purdy hasn't finished a season since he's been here.
Is that the only reason why you wouldn't trade him?
Well, he's your backup quarterback. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess the other reason would be to stop a team from being good. I don't know. What other reason are you thinking about?
I can't come up with a reason. And that's kind of my point, right? If you're going into the season saying we really need a backup quarterback, then something's wrong. That means it's your offensive line. Let's start there.
I agree. Yeah, 100%.
So if you are handcuffed to your backup quarterback, that means that you've identified an issue that you need to address. If you are going to try to convince us that you like the offensive line, because that's what they do at the podium, right? We like McKivitz. We like Brindle, right? These are good guys, and Pooney just had a down year. Like that's what they're saying. If you are saying that, put your money where your mouth is and let that backup go. So,
one other guy that I should mention that could be a fun candidate, Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson, I think, could come in here. And then next year, we'll get Justin Fields, and then we'll have that whole 2022 draft class, and we'll turn all of them into successful starters, minus Trey Lance.
The Niners have done this before. I don't know if you remember. It was Christian Ponder, it was Colin Kaepernick, and it was, there was one, Blaine Gabbert. They were all like the same draft class. Remember, they had all three of them at one point.
We had Ponder here?
Yeah, you don't remember Christian Ponder being here?
I don't remember him. I remember him being in Minnesota. I don't remember him being here.
Hold on. Wait, maybe I'm mistaken. I swear Christian Ponder was here. Now I got to look it up. Christian
That's funny.
Ponder 49ers. Let's see. Was he with the Niners? Am I wrong? No, he was with us in 2016. Yeah. He was with us in 2016. Yeah. Yep.
When was he drafted? Like 2010, 2011?
He was drafted 2011. That 2011 draft class. We had three guys here: Blaine Gabbert, Cap, and Christian Ponder. We had all those guys. That's here.
Funny.
They were all second round picks, if I'm not mistaken. First and second round picks. Yeah. Blaine Gabbert, Christian McCaffrey. Christian Ponder. It was like, so let's do it again. Let's run it back. Like you just said, let's do it.
Yeah. Okay. The last guy that is there's some rumors about, Maxx Crosby, Mike, and Tom Pelissero. Let me zoom in so you guys can read this. He said, it's fair to assume that the Raiders are getting calls. Is there a world where he's traded in the next 7 to 10 days? I believe there is. Almost every player in the NFL has a price. I do not believe they want to trade him. Is it possible? Yes. Mike, 1, do you think he gets moved? 2, would you want the 49ers to go out and get him?
Yes, I would want the Niners to go out and get him. Let me start there. Do I think he'll be moved? Yes. I don't think he wants to be there anymore. He didn't like the way that they kind of shelved them at the end of the season. And he is a very, very vocal person. Not only is he vocal, he's influential in the locker room. You upset a player like him, it's going to have a ripple effect in that locker room. And then I know there's a lot of people out there who feel like, oh, the Raiders are never going to trade anybody good to the 49ers. I just wanted to let you guys know that Tom Brady is there, and Tom Brady loves the 49ers. So that those days are long gone. Al Davis is dead. Sorry, rest in peace. But his son does not carry those same beliefs. He doesn't operate the same way that his father did at all. So take that as far out of your mind as physically possible. Now, can the Niners trade for Maxx Crosby? There's only one way it happens, and you got to send Mac Jones over there. That's the only way it happens. They don't have the draft picks to give up for Maxx Crosby. Yeah. They don't. They're not going to give up their first-round pick for him. They can't. Now, can you give up? God dang it! Mac Jones and let's say a 4th rounder, and you get Crosby in a 7th. I would do something like that. We don't have a 7th round pick. We don't have a 6th round pick. I would do something like that for sure, because you're going to be taking on some money. He's going to probably need another contract in a year or two. Like, so I don't know what his contract status is, so forgive me for that part. But yeah, that's the only way.
Pretty, from what I remember, it's pretty, let me see if I can search. I think, that he has a, gosh, I forget what injury he has, but he just had surgery. This is per Hayden Winks. Maxx Crosby contract is extremely tradable. Only $5 million in dead on the Raiders side. Inheriting team has $30 million guaranteed in 2026, which is no problem. The rest of the contract is just $28 million team options. So it's a very workable contract.
Absolutely.
I say send Mac Jones, Brandon Ayuk, and Bryce Huff with a 5th round pick, and you get Maxx Crosby back.
You got to get a pick back though if you're sending that much.
Send a 7th.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Who's more valuable to a team? Just close your eyes and just picture this: a defensive end, forget the name, or a starting quarterback. Which one's more valuable to a team?
Quarterback.
There you go. So player for player, I think favors the Niners. I understand what he does and what he brings to the field. I do get it. But who's their quarterback right now? It's not Geno anymore. He's gone, right?
I mean, technically no, but he will be, yeah.
Right. And then the other guy was
Aiden
God,
O'Connell?
what was his name? O'Connell. Yeah. I mean, come on. They
Kenny
would take
Pickett?
Mac Jones. They would take Mac Jones in a second. They would take him in a heartbeat. That's the move you make if you're the Niners.
Tom Brady, he's got some connection there with Tom being with New England, and I don't know. I think I don't know. There could be something there. I've heard reports that the 49ers are like all in on Maxx Crosby and have been for a year now. So we'll see what that translates into. I know Matt, I wonder if his opinion has changed, but I know earlier in the offseason or earlier in the season, we had talked about him, and he said definitely not. He wouldn't want him due to the injuries that he's had.
Does he have a long list of injuries, or was it just the one like recent?
Let me see.
Here, let me see. I got you here.
I mean, I know that he had that knee injury. Oh, he had meniscus surgery in January. That's
right, in the left knee.
And Matt said that that's not a great. It's not something you want one of your most expensive players to deal with.
He also wanted to play through it, so it doesn't sound like it was like really, really, really bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't know that it was. He again, you have to. Yes, he had the injury, right? But he was upset that they shelved him. He wanted to play through it, which means it couldn't have been as debilitating as what they make it sound. The injury itself, I get it, but that's not it. So December 21st, the Raiders put him on IR with the knee injury. And October 19th, it said knee unspecified strain. December, the previous year, he had a pedal ankle, high ankle sprain. And then September, he had that same injury, grade 3, high ankle sprain. So that's his entire injury history.
He's had three knee surgeries since 2021.
Yeah, I bring that guy in because they'll count a scope and a cleanup as a surgery also. So like that's not, you got to know like what's going on. Did he have anything like reconstructed? Did he go? You know what I mean? Did he have anything like repaired, replaced? Like was it cleanup type stuff? So, and the production is still there
for sure.
I mean he's 28. He'll be 29 when the season rolls around in preseason. I say you go out there and do it. That's a lot better than, in my opinion, that's better than a Henderson.
Yeah.
Hendrickson.
Agreed. Now, this move, how much would that move the needle for you, Mike?
If we were to do it and we're getting rid of
Mac,
I'm celebrating because now you got this guy opposite of Nick Bosa. Are you kidding me?
It would be insane. It would be
Are you
insane.
kidding me?
You got two bookends in Bosa and Crosby, and then you got Mike Hill Williams in the middle. Bryce Huff, if he stays, rotating in, Sam Okuwanu rotating in. I mean, it would be insane. Absolutely
Yeah,
insane.
and
So.
all the defensive linemen that you got Collins coming back, you got oh my God, West coming back. Like these guys are like this is what you built this line for. This is what you've been hoping for. You want that guy opposite of Bosa so you can really put those guys in at the defensive tackle position to get after the quarterback. That's why you go out and get guys like Michael Williams and West. Like that's what you do. That's why you went out there and got Collins. So that's exactly what you had in mind. You were looking for that one piece opposite. That's your answer right there.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Both of him and Nick Bosa, same amount of years of experience. And if I'm not mistaken, Crosby's got more sacks than Bosa does. He's been more productive than Bosa, mainly because of the time that Bosa's been missed. But I mean,
on a worse team too, where he's got nobody else. Like it's all him. Who else on that Raiders defensive line? Christian Wilkins before he started fucking fingering buttholes and shit in the locker room.
I would do it, man. I'm definitely pulling that trigger, like 100%. No, you know what? As a Niner fan,
talk about the trade. Talk about the trade.
Yeah. What did that comment say? Just remember what happened last time. What?
The Niners traded a decent amount of picks for one, including a 1-4 player. It set this rampage back, and it partially the reason why the roster has the holes in it. They're not giving up 3 first-round picks to go and get Maxx Crosby.
I wouldn't give up a first-round pick at all for Maxx Crosby. So no.
You give up Mac Jones, and you give up maybe a mid-round pick.
Right.
I think that gets the job done.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Mike, we got to wrap that up here. I got an early morning. This was fun, man. It's been great. We got to do it. We got to do this more often. We'll be back to a regular schedule soon. Like I said, I'm getting married in 4 weeks. So after that, after the honeymoon, we'll be back to a little bit more of a regular schedule. The draft is coming up. The combine's here. Free agency's coming up. And even if I'm not here, Matt and Mike will hold down the fort. I know they will. So appreciate you guys.
Absolutely.
If you guys have any questions for us, tweet them at us. Our handles are on the screen. We'll answer them the next time. Go ahead, Mike.
I've got one more question for you really quick.
Please.
And I know we just sat here and talked about this dream defensive line with Bosa and Crosby. Would you move on from Nick Bosa this offseason? Forget the Crosby thing for just 1 second.
In a trade?
Yes.
I would think long and hard about it.
That's it.
I would strongly consider it. Yeah.
Okay.
Depending on what you're offered. I wouldn't make the move, but if somebody's calling, I would listen.
Right. Okay.
Just tore his ACL for the 3rd time.
A team calls and says, I got a second for you right now. Like, just you would consider it. I would. I would. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. It's been fun. So, Mike, I'm sure the folks already know. Please let them know where to find you, where to find some premium 49ers content as we get into the draft season.
Yeah, I'm going to have a car ride confession coming to you guys on Patreon tomorrow. Patreon.com/NB9ERS. It's right there below Zach. Please make sure you guys go over there and subscribe. Also, if they're doing any like weird stuff with your billing, guys, shoot me a DM. Like one of the subscribers shot me a DM. They got billed twice in less than a week. And I don't know why Patreon did that. And so it's something that I can assist with. So you guys, if it happens, if you have any weird stuff like that happening with the Patreon, let me know. Yeah. I do not do the billing. It's not like I click a name and say charge them or anything like that. That's not how it works. So it's out of my control. But if it does happen and you guys notice it, please let me know. All right. Reach out to me. I'm not one of those guys.
Someone's going to DM you and say, Mike, something's weird with the billing. My wife found it. And for some reason, it's showing up as OnlyFans. Do you know what's up with that?
No, my OnlyFans page is shut down, so that's not it anymore. Sorry, man. Yeah, I can't help you with that anymore. But if you need me to be your excuse for OnlyFans, I'll be like, yeah, I'll subscribe to Mike's page. I got your back, man.
There you go.
All right. Yeah.
All right,
that's
guys, go subscribe.
For my people watching right now on Nothing But Niners, please make sure you guys come over and show some love to my guys over here at 49ersHive. Subscribe to their channel as well. We have a lot of fun over here.
Appreciate you. All right, that'll do it for tonight's show, guys. Thanks for rocking with us. Thanks for sticking with us through the gap. I know it was a little bit, but we will be more consistent with the shows moving forward. Mike, do us the honors and carry us out, please.
Yeah, unfortunately, my man Matt couldn't get in here. Have to go be a dad, and I completely understand that. But we got a good off season coming, guys. It's going to be exciting. Don't get down, faithful. You guys stay tight out there. And in the famous words of Matt, as always, go Niners.